First of all, most of the people that I meet are either in their head or they're out of their body. And so we'll start with the out of body because that's actually more disconnected than in their head. So if being in their body is painful for them or something happened in their body that was painful, in their consciousness, they want to get away from their body. So there's something being held, usually again, some type of trauma or some type of pain in the body, like they were hit or something happened. And then what they do is they disconnect from their body and they project their consciousness off their body. But the outcome of it is they're very disconnected. They get very flighty and sometimes spacey, and they don't have the experience of being present. And so on a lot of levels, they're actually missing, really missing life. Because a lot of life is in the body. It's not just outside the body. It's not just up in the consciousness. It's the consciousness in the body experiencing the moment. That's really what gives us the deepest experience, that gives us the teachings that we need as a soul. So it's important to be in the body. Secondly, the second place people hide when they have trauma, particularly heart trauma, which is usually places where the love has been broken, is they go up to their head. Because if they were really sitting in their heart, they would feel essentially sadness or perhaps grief or realizing that they're disconnected from others and they don't know how to make that connection. And certainly disconnected from their own selves, because when they were themselves, maybe people didn't like them. Maybe something about being who they are, people rejected. So what people do is they hide up in their heads. And of course, our society is very much about the mind anyway. So it kind of works really well because frankly, the more you're in your mind and the less you're in your truth and your heart, honestly, the easier it is for you to be controlled by others. Because when you're not in your heart, you really don't have your own authority. You don't have your own autonomy. You don't have your own truth. So it's really easy to go up to your head, and you start, basically reciting a belief system that you may have picked up from somewhere. Maybe you watched Beyonce and she talked like that, or you were, listening to Nietzsche, or you're listening to some other person who tells you how to live. And so you run their narrative, and you live according to that narrative in your mind. But the truth is, you're not really in your heart. You're not authentic. You're not experiencing life from your heart, and you're missing it. Even if you're weird, let's say, or you're, these are bad words, but let's say you're like something kind of odd. Your experience as that odd person is still your truthful experience, and you have to be odd and experience life through oddness. Yeah, exactly. Just be what you are. And you might find that oddness in time, is kind of like a caterpillar just hasn't become the butterfly yet. So he's kind of walking around feeling odd. But once you own it, your wings begin to expand, and there's so much beauty that comes out of you, and people are just not used to it. So the key is be in your heart. And being in your heart means that you bring your awareness to your heart center in your chest, that you're living from a state of feeling. You're feeling yourself, and you're feeling others, and you're moving from that feeling level. So like you might feel you're with somebody and you feel love. So you're letting that love come out of you, and you're feeling the love, and you're moving from the love, and you're authentic with that love. Feeling might mean that you touch something you don't like somebody. So then you have to be honest about the fact that you really feel that you don't like that. It doesn't mean that you have to be rude or impolite with your feelings, but you can be honest. I really feel like I don't like that. And the reason I don't like it is because you're creating separation, or you're, judging, or you're doing something that I find uncomfortable in myself. So it's being honest with how you feel in yourself. And then, of course, believe it or not, when you feel other people's hearts and you connect to them, you'll find that you establish real relationships. Now you're actually really in the dance of relationship. And that's the beauty. That's really where it's beautiful. When you're honest with somebody and they're honest with you, that's where the real growth happens. When you're up in your head and you're just spouting some kind of story, but you're not being honest, you're missing your life and you're missing life altogether. And if you're up off your body, you're completely missing because you're not even here.